Today, we are going to begin writing body paragraphs. Last week, we worked on writing thesis statements. And if you remember, a thesis statement is a statement that guides the entire paper. It tells your reader exactly what your paper is going to cover. Thesis statements can be either 1 or 2 sentences, but either way you write it, remember that it answers the question and gives reasons why. Last week, when we were writing thesis statements, we kept in mind 3 steps. 1, use part of the question to start your thesis. 2, answer just the question. And 3, tell how or why. Here is our example from last week. What is your favorite movie and why? I used part of the question to start my thesis by saying my favorite movie is. And then I answered the question by saying Beauty and the Beast. And then I gave 2 reasons why. I can relate to Belle's love of books, and the songs are fun to sing. So in the end, my thesis statement looked like this. My favorite movie is Beauty and the Beast because I can relate to Belle's love of books and the songs are fun to sing. There are my 2 reasons why highlighted. I can relate to Belle's love of books and the songs are fun to sing. And I highlighted those because now when we write our body paragraphs, we are going to look at each of those reasons separate. When we write a body paragraph for our essay, we follow the same format that we have been using in class. Number 1, we have a topic sentence. A sentence will come from the first why of your thesis. Second, we have a transition sentence. We have supporting details, and we have a concluding sentence. We are going to break our thesis into these 2 separate points, and so we are going to have 2 body paragraphs. But for now, we're only going to focus on 1. So when I focus on this body paragraph, my topic sentence is going to restate the first why of my thesis statement, but not use the exact wording. And then I'm going to explain what I mean. And then I'm going to give supporting details. And then I'm going to use a concluding sentence that reminds my reader of both the main point from this topic and how it relates back to my thesis. So let's practice. My thesis statement said that my favorite movie is Beauty and the Beast because I can relate to Belle's love of books and the songs are fun to sing. So in my topic sentence, I have to choose my first why, which I have highlighted for you. But I cannot use the same wording. So I have reworded it to say that Belle from Beauty and the Beast and I are similar in how we both love books. And that ties into how I can relate to her love of books. And it's the same, but not worded exactly the same. So if my topic sentence is Belle from Beauty and the Beast and I are similar in how we both love books, my transition sentence needs to explain that. So I said that Belle reads a lot to escape her reality from a small town, and I read to get lost in a new world. Next, we need to add supporting details in using lots of examples, and I will go into that when I show you my example on the next slide. And then lastly, we finish our paragraph with a concluding sentence that has to remind the reader of both the main point of my paragraph, but also how it relates back to my thesis. And so my concluding sentence is going to say that I share Belle's love of getting lost in stories, which is one reason Beauty and the Beast is my favorite movie. So the topic of my paragraph was that Belle and I were similar, and so I have reminded the reader of that in the first part of my sentence. But my overall topic was what was my favorite movie. And so I have put that back here, that Beauty and the Beast is my favorite movie. So what does that look like in the end? My paragraph will read, Belle from Beauty and the Beast and I are similar in how we both love books. Belle reads a lot to escape her reality from a small town, and I read to get lost in a new world. In the movie, Belle goes to her library quite often to find new books, but there aren't many available. She ends up reading the same few stories over and over. Though there are stories I love to read and have read over, I like that my library has many options to choose from. Sometimes there are too many options and I can't decide. When Belle lives with the Beast, she experiences this overwhelming feeling of too many books to choose from, but falls in love with the idea of being able to get lost in so many worlds. I share Belle's love of getting lost in stories, which is one reason Beauty and the Beast is my favorite movie. If we break that down, we start with our topic sentence, which, if you remember, is the first part of my thesis statement that answered the question. The second one is my transition sentence, which explains it. In the green, I have all of my supporting details and examples. And in the end, I have my concluding sentence. So what does that mean for you? You are going to do the same thing for practice. In our week 3 folder, you will find a graphic organizer similar to the one we used for the This Is Me paragraph. It will break down the parts of the paragraph for you with the topic sentence, transition, supporting details, and concluding sentence. Tomorrow, you are going to go back to your thesis statement practice and choose just one of your thesis statements to work with. You're going to write that one thesis statement in the organizer, and you are going to focus on your first reason why. Please ask if you have any questions.